Hello, 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 and welcome to the RedLine Solutions Educational Webinar series. Our topic today is how to improve your produce quality control processes. We're pleased to have our introduction presented by our very own Carol Golsh, the Director of Product Management here at RedLine. And today's main topic will be presented by our very special guest, Mike Dodson, the CEO of Lotpath. So, welcome everybody. And without further ado, I will pass it on to Carol.
Across the board, we try to work from, if we were in any other industry, I suppose we'd say soup to nuts, but here we say from field to cooler and beyond. So we have solutions that help in the in-field harvesting and packaging, in receiving of bulk produce within the cooler and pack sheds, the actual packing of that produce, the labeling with PTI Lite for traceability, managing that in RedLine Cooler to ensure that your inventory, your product rotation, your traceability is all kept tidily organized, instantly accessible, and completely reportable. Other services that we offer include hardware installation, work in wireless, in general, ensuring that you have one-stop shopping for all of the needs you may have in getting your solution up running. Of course, no one company can stand on its own feet without good partnerships and work with associations across other parts of the industry. We pride ourselves on working with best-of-breed companies across the board. You can see here on our little screen the different types of companies that we work with. We are premier partners with Microsoft, with Zebra. We participate with PMA, CPMA, all of the Western growers, the Grower Shipper Association. We work with grower accounting systems, and as you'll probably gather from today's presentation, we're proud to work with Lotpath, a key provider of quality solutions. And we bring these solutions across the board to a number of different customers in industry, including one that you will be completely aware of. And many of you perhaps are members of these companies, but key growers, packers, shippers, handling produce commodities everywhere from potatoes to tree fruit to fresh veg to leafy greens. We're proud to be able to give you a quick comment here that we'll be at the PMA Fresh Summit this year being held in Atlanta, Georgia in the latter part of October, and I just want to entice you to stop by and visit us at booth 651. We have an exciting little announcement we'd like to make, but we can't get yet. So you know what that means. You need to come by our booth, come see what we're doing. I think you'll be excited and pleased to see what's coming up. With that little intro, I'd like to turn things over to Mike from Lotpath. Mike, welcome. Please take it away.
And I will get started. Well, thank you very much to RedLine for giving me the chance to share today, and thank you for everyone that's participating in this webinar. As the topic said, we will be discussing produce quality control. I wanted to first give you just a quick introduction of Lotpath. We're located in Fresno, California. We're a software development company, and we create software for food and ag companies, almost exclusively. Our background is, I'm sorry, somebody talking, did you want to say something? No? Okay, I'll proceed then. Background is creating custom software solutions, and through the years my team has created literally hundreds of software applications for our clients in food and ag. You can learn more information by visiting our website at lotpath.com. But I want to go ahead now and proceed with today's topic, and that is produce quality control. Several years ago, Lotpath launched a product that is called Lotpath Quality, and it really started with a request from a produce company. They came to us and asked us to create a custom software solution to perform produce inspections and to monitor product quality. Their inspectors were carrying clipboards and handwritten inspection sheets. They were taking pictures with digital cameras. And at the end of each day, the inspectors would enter the inspection data into an Excel spreadsheet. They would download the photos from cameras to a location on the network. Somebody would then go in, clean up the data in Excel, and then send out the Excel files via email, and that was their process. And the company was really struggling to manage their product quality. We identified several key problems that they were experiencing. First of all, because inspection data wasn't in the spreadsheets until the end of the day, quality problems were not identified until the next day. And the produce company couldn't respond to problems until a full day of harvest and packing was completed. Problem number 2 is the handwritten sheets and the spreadsheets didn't validate the inspection data that the inspectors were recording. Because the inspection data wasn't validated, there were lots of problems with incorrect data and invalid inspection data. And the third problem is they were taking these photos, they were downloading them to a location on their network, and they weren't linked to the inspection records. And that made it extremely difficult to pair up the inspection data with the photos so they knew they were looking at the right issues. After talking to this company, I was curious if other produce companies were experiencing similar problems. So I went around and met with quite a few produce companies, and what I discovered at the time is everybody was kind of doing it the same way. Everybody's using handwritten sheets, or maybe they were going straight into Excel, but everything was disconnected. There was Excel spreadsheets, there was photos, and nothing was organized, and they certainly didn't have real-time access to their quality data. So after talking to some of those produce companies, we made a decision at Lotpath that instead of creating a custom solution just for this one single customer, that we decided to create a software product, and that product is called Lotpath Quality. And those produce companies that I met with early on, they became our first customers, and all of those companies are still Lotpath Quality customers today. So Lotpath Quality, it's composed of 2 major components. There's the Lotpath Quality web app and the Lotpath Inspector iPad app. In the Lotpath Quality web app, quality control managers and the sales team can use the web app to monitor product quality. The quality manager can set up and customize the inspection forms for the inspectors to use. It was really important for our customers that they wouldn't have to manually key in all of their lookup data, so things like growers and blocks and pack styles and sizes. And so we created a data sync tool, and it keeps Lotpath Quality synchronized with the produce company's accounting and inventory software. That data sync works out of the box with Famous software, and we've created custom versions for other ERP systems as well. From the web app, users of the app can share information, inspection data and photos with trading partners. For example, they could share quality issues with growers, or they could show the great product they have in inventory ready for sale to customers. The Lotpath Inspector iPad app, it's available for download from the Apple App Store. The app works whether the iPad is connected to the internet or not. And this was a big deal for some of our customers who wanted to perform inspections out in the fields or in other remote locations that didn't have reliable wireless service. And then Lotpath Inspector had several key feature points that we included in the product. Number one, it completely eliminates pen and paper, so you can use the iPad exclusively and not have to fall back on pen and paper. Number two, it links the inspection photos directly to inspection data, so there's no trying to pair it up later on or figure out what photos go with which inspection records. Number three, it guides the inspector through the inspection process and also has built-in validation, and that ensures data accuracy and ensures completeness of the inspections. And then number four, all of the inspection data and photos are immediately visible in the Lotpath Quality Cloud web app, so that if an iPad is connected to the internet, every time an inspection and photos are created, those are immediately uploaded, immediately visible on the web app. If an iPad's not connected to the internet, those data, the inspection data and the inspection photos, they'll be uploaded automatically next time the iPad connects. So where we're at today is produce companies can send their inspectors out to any point in their supply chain, in the field, at receiving, on the pack line, in the cold storage, at the shipping dock, and they have real-time visibility of inspection data and photos as soon as each inspection is complete. And that allows them to react quickly if there's any quality issues that need to be addressed immediately. Now, our customers have told us that by eliminating the paperwork and the manual data entry, that it saves, on average, each inspector 1 hour a day. So with those statistics, the average produce company saves about $1,500 per month just in the labor cost alone. And the additional cost savings are found in the reduction of data entry errors and in the creating and sending out of daily quality reports. Some of our customers have found another particularly valuable use for Lotpath Quality. They perform inspections of all of their outbound loads, and these customers have told me that with that documentary evidence, it's enabled them to dispute customer rejections, and that's saving them thousands of dollars each time that occurs. Lotpath Quality is sold as a monthly subscription. There are no long-term contracts. You can cancel your subscription at any time. The price points vary based on the number of users and the number of iPads that are being used to perform inspections. So a produce company with 5 or fewer users and maybe a couple of iPads, they're going to spend less than $100 per month on their monthly subscription. And then also there's no limitation on the number of inspections or the number of photos that customers are allowed to take using Lotpath Quality. So earlier this year we reached an important milestone. We have now more than 1 million inspections that have been uploaded into the Lotpath Quality cloud servers. And in the past few years, we've signed up some leading companies across various commodity segments. Right now, we have a large proportion of the California stone fruit and table grape crops that are inspected using Lotpath Quality. We have a significant portion of the Washington apple and pear crop, Idaho and Minnesota and Wisconsin potatoes. Several companies up there, they're using it. And we're now growing our California vegetable and berry commodities as we sign up more customers. So I'm going to move on to give you a little demo of the Lotpath Quality iPad app. So I'm on an iPad right now, and I'm displaying it on the screen. When you sign in, if an inspector is associated with multiple accounts, they'll be able to select which account they're going to perform inspections for. And once you're signed in, it shows you the most recent inspections that this particular inspector has performed. And I'm going to do a new inspection. And I'll select grape receiving. Now it defaults to the current time. I can select a facility. I can select the crew. I can select the grower block. And these are all pull downs that are managed within the Lotpath Quality web app. Now, in the defects section, you can record defects based on a count or based on a weight. I'll say there's 25 pounds of defects, and we found 2 pounds of decay, 1 pound of sunburn. And you'll notice that as you're keying in the defect counts, it's automatically calculating the percentages for you. And it gives you subtotals of the serious and non-serious defects and then total defects as well. Then in the sample section, there are various types of data that you can enter in for an inspection that you're performing. There are pull-down records that you select. I'll skip down to the bricks. And you'll see that it's guiding me through the process. It's just fill in the blank form for the inspectors to fill out. And I'll say that's QC approved. I'm going to give it a grade of excellent, and I'll make a note. And I'll save that inspection. You'll notice if I do a different type of inspection, I'm presented with different information in the inspection form. So if I do a grape shipping inspection, you'll see I've got fields like sales order, and I've got customer. I can record the pallet tag if I want to record the pallet tag. And some of the information is the same, but it's a unique inspection for grape shipping as opposed to grape receiving. We cancel out of that. Okay, so now that was just a brief demo of the Lotpath Inspector iPad app. I'm going to jump over to the Lotpath Quality web app now. And again, if I'm associated with multiple accounts, I can select which account I'd like to work on. And I'm going to go to the Inspections tab. And when you go to the Inspections tab, you'll be shown the most recent inspections that have been performed by the inspectors. And it's in chronological order, and as new ones are added throughout the day, you'll see them show up at the top. So you can see I did an inspection on the iPad, and it's showing up now as the top one because that's the most recent inspection. I've got some filters that I can put in here. So if I just want to see the receiving inspections, I can select the receiving control point. And this will only show receiving inspections. I can select a particular grower block. So if I wanted to see all of the inspections done for a particular grower block, I can select that filter. And you see I've got some in receiving, I've got some from shipping, I've got a cold storage inspection. If I go into these inspection records, I can edit it. So if the QC manager needs to correct a mistake, or if the inspector goes in later in the day, they can correct any of the mistakes. These inspections can be edited later. And also if I go into the view of an inspection, it gives me a nice printer-friendly version of the inspection report. So if I selected print, you won't be able to see my printer, but I'll go ahead and save it as a PDF file. And let me drag that back over here. Oh, it's giving me problems. Well, anyway, this PDF file, I won't be able to show it to you, but you can, now that you have a PDF file, you can file that away into the records. You can print it out, hard copy to file with each, wherever you file your inspections, or you can email those to people as well as a PDF document. There's also email sharing that you can do within the app, and I'll show that in a minute. So back to the Lotpath Quality web app. I'll show you how you can set up these inspection plans. Right now there's a handful of inspection plans in this account. I will edit the grape receiving one. That's the sample that I was using. And it's just a drag and drop. So if I wanted to add in, let's say, a field ticket number, I would just drag it over, and the next time, and save it, and the next time an inspector performs that particular inspection, they'll be presented with a field ticket number as one of the prompts. And to kind of show you how quickly you can set up a new inspection form, I'm going to go ahead and copy the grape receiving inspection. I'm going to set it for the control point field. I'm going to call this one grape pre-harvest inspection. I'm not going to record any defects. There's no facility, there's no harvest date, no crew, no pack style, and no label. Down here, what I'm really most interested in is I just want to know what are the bricks values. So I will remove all these others. And so I'm just going to have a very simple pre-harvest inspection. Now if I come back over to my iPad app and I select New Inspection, you'll see I now have a new inspection, grape pre-harvest inspection. I can put in the grower block, I can record the bricks, and then I can add in inspector notes like, looks like we need a few more days. And now on the inspection dashboard, or on the inspection tabs on the Quality app, now you see that new inspection. Okay, the power of Lotpath Quality is really in that ability to create those customized inspection plans. You can set up your own measurement or data points for the inspections. We call these specs. And we have a pretty good list of different types of specs that you can set up. So for example, I can set a temperature spec, and within there I can choose how many decimal places I want the measurements to go down to. I can choose whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. We have list specs. So for example, let's look at stem condition. And these are all customizable. So if you need to add a new value, you can add a new value or remove one, and it's completely configurable and customizable. You notice we were counting defects earlier. You have the ability to add defects within the Lotpath Quality web app and then set up defect groups. And so you could have different defects for grapes or stone fruit or leafy greens or potatoes. And the way you set that up is you can specify which of them are considered serious and non-serious. And it's just a drag and drop. If you want to add a new defect, you can add that in. And you can rearrange if you decide that mildew is a serious, you drag that in there. And so every time you make this change, it's immediate, and it is immediately out on the Lotpath Inspector iPad app. Now, there's a rich set of lookup data that's available. So, for example, there are control points that you can put in, and you can add your own. You can set up facilities. You can add a list of customers. And if you were using the data sync tool, a lot of this information, like commodities and varieties and pack styles and sizes, your product labels, your growers, your blocks, all of that information would actually come from your accounting and inventory system if you have the data sync tool in place. So very customizable, very configurable inspection plans. And then on the dashboard, you can create customized inspection data views. And within these data views, you can decide what data points you want to display and what data you want to filter by. So for example, I have this one, grape receiving details. It's already hard-coded to the commodity grape and the receiving point. So if I click display, it's going to show me all of the inspections that match that. If I just wanted to see the, let's say, the Tulare Cru, I can display that, and it filters and just shows me the Tulare Cru. And as I scroll over, you can see it has all that information that is put into the inspections. You can also create summary data views. So if I just want to summarize by grower block, it'll give me the totals for that grower block. So the average bricks, the average grade score, the average defect percentages that were found. If you wanted to track a particular grower block through all of your control points, you could do that very easily. I've selected a grower block, and it shows me each of the inspections. You'll see them in receiving, in cold storage, and shipping. And if you wanted to then drill down to view one of those inspections, you could do it this way. And so there's a nice interactive way to view your information on the dashboard and then also be able to drill down into the details. And setting up those inspection data views is pretty straightforward. You can customize them here. If I edit one of these, I can decide I don't want to see, let's say I don't want to see the field ticket number, but I do want to go ahead and show the commodity. And I can set filter values that I want to set for that inspection data view as well. And so now it shows the commodity and the field ticket has been removed. Now, one other powerful feature that we have within Lotpath Quality is we have the ability to email the inspection data and photos to your trading partners. And so here's an example. If I select this particular inspection, it's a shipping inspection. I can select send email. I can put it in contact and it saves your list of contacts. I'll go ahead and say select all the photos. Here's the product that we talked about on the phone. I can decide whether I want a copy of that to go to me. I can decide to expire it in a day, a week, or a month. And what this will do when I send this is it actually sends an email to the recipient and the recipient gets a link in their email, and when they click on it, it sends them to the Lotpath Quality website, only showing the information that's been shared with them, including the photos, and the note about the product that we talked about on the phone. And this information does not require that the recipient have a login and password to Lotpath Quality. So they can view this information and you can share that with people without having to grant them logins and passwords. And so that's a really powerful way that you can share the inspection data that you're collecting in the photos. So with that, I'm going to conclude the software demo portion of the webinar, and I'll just share with you some final thoughts. Final thoughts on improving your product quality control processes. Number one, you need access to real-time data in order to make real-time sensitive decisions. Number two, you want to ensure that your inspection data is accurate and valid. Number three, inspection photos provide important documentary evidence, and you want the photos linked to the inspection records. Number four, the produce inspection software that you use needs to be very simple to use. And number five, you need flexible produce inspection software that allows you to quickly change inspection forms in response to changing business requirements. And so with that, I'm going to conclude my portion of the presentation, and I will turn it back over to Carol or Adrian.
Thank you, Mike, for that great presentation. Very informative, and thank you, Carol, for that brilliant introduction. Certainly, if you want to contact us, we have our contact details up on the screen right now. It's myself, Mike, or you can email us at sales@redlinesolutions.com. We appreciate your business and your time and look forward to seeing you in our next webinar. Have a great day.